feels great because it's interesting during a season with the way soccer is done in the NCAA. There's RPI, there's points for games in the conference, there's all these things you're going for. And you look up and you got this Iowa State team coming who their RPI isn't good, and they're a potential for 3 points to keep ourselves where we're at in the league. And you don't want to say to your team, oh my gosh, we absolutely have to have this. Like, we have to win this, because that's like nerve-wracking, right? The media says that in football and the big sports, it's a must win for the Cowboys or whatever. But in our case, you just don't really want to put that on them. But holy cow, that was a must win. I mean, we had to win. You can't not win that. Double negative right there. You have to win it. And so I'm so happy for the girls. We come up against a team that has tied 3 out of the last 4 games with shutouts. You can see the defensive game plan they came out with, walking to everything, subbing every second, taking a minute or 2 off the clock when their goalkeeper had the ball. Delay, I mean, if there was a flag for delay, they'd have 10 of them. But that was their plan, and it worked for the first half. But halftime, had a good chat, kind of tightened the screws a little bit and realized that, look, this is not going to be easy. And it may be ugly. We'll take it any way it comes. Unfortunately, when Macy got the deflection for the goal on the restart, man, it was all downhill from there. We were running downhill. It was kind of downhill for them, and we were able to put them away.
Goals haven't come as easy for Ashley as they've had, years past. What was it like seeing her get that penalty kick? And I assume when I forget who it was, it went down.
But yeah,
it was kind of a no-brainer to get Ashley a chance to score.
Well, sometimes you give it to the one who's fouled, but when it's a bad foul, it's kind of like every coach is different on this. But the foul is pretty rough, and there's some emotion, and maybe you're kind of dinged up a little, and I don't like that person taking the penalty. And we had Macy off, who's probably our first choice. We had Peyton Parsons off, who's definitely a first choice. They were all off the field. So I'm literally looking around asking players, who do we have? And they're like, Ashley. And I was like, okay, Ash. So then Ash told Bug to get out. Bug was happy to give it to the senior. And yeah, look, Ashley's still been the player she's been. The difference this year is I think teams are able to double down on her a little bit, but she's still scoring the big goals. I mean, you heard the thing in the introduction. Last year with her 14 goals, 7 were game winners. And she's had several game winners this year too. So still impactful for us, whether her stats showed or not. Go ahead.
Looking back at that first half, y'all had that goal taken off the board. Just talk about this team's grit and fight to go out in the second half and not just put 1 point on the board, but put 2.
Well, that was our problem Thursday. We completely outplayed Colorado. Like, the game wasn't really close by the metrics that you could measure it other than score. In every stat, we had it won, but we didn't put them away. We scored that first goal and we chilled. We pulled back. They then got aggressive. They were smart to press at the end. And then they scored a great goal. So we had to own it, right? Like, that wasn't good to have scored and then took our foot off the gas. Today we did not. Today we put the foot back on the gas even after we scored and made sure we got that second goal. Would love to have had a third, but the second goal kind of ended it, and you could see the spirits for Iowa State go down after that.
And then when you're kind of in a defensive battle like this with Iowa State, having those draws, 3 games, I think, what's it like having Macy and Ashley where it's like they're kind of on fire when they're on offense? So what's it like having them to be able to fire up the rest of the offense?
It's a good question. If you're going to play a team that's going to play that defensively, and the showdown really is our offense versus their defense, that was really the conflict. Then you look around, you see Blackburn and Elise and Molly Skrasinski who can fly to the back, and Ashley and Z and Bug and Peyton Parsons. Like, that's a lot of offensive firepower. So although they have been successful keeping teams out, that was a lot to ask them to do for an hour and a half in the Texas heat. This is a pretty warm October for even us here in Texas. So they couldn't keep us out forever, and fortunately, Macy led the way, and then Bug and Z, finished them off.
You followed every single loss or draw this year with a win. What does it say about the resiliency your team has showed in every game this year?
Well, I think that's a good word to describe us. The team does not they hate ties. Like, it's one thing not to like losing. Most teams don't like losing. We actually hate it. But the internal drive not to even be tied exists. And it really starts with Macy and Elise. They're uber competitive captains. They're always keeping the team on their edge. And they also balance the coaches out. Like, I thought one of Macy's best leadership moments, is she in here? Oh, well, now she's going to hear me say it, but I would have said it to her privately, was at the end of our game on Thursday. Like, we were pretty tough on the team. We were like, that's not good enough. Can't let them back off the mat. And Macy kind of stepped in that gap between team and coaches and said, hey, look, they're right, but can't get our heads down. Sunday's a huge day. You've been around as long as she has. She understands what's up and what's at stake and wasn't going to let her team get down. And that was big. That was a big leadership moment for her. I loved it because coming from a player, it's more powerful. And I think it starts with her and Elise in those regards.
think Thursday it was 23-5 in the shooting disparity. Tonight it was 21-2. What was the difference tonight from last game?
Well, Colorado was just a better team who wanted to go forward. You know, Iowa State was not really trying to go forward except on the break. And so I don't think Iowa State cared how many shots they got. They were looking for the quality shots that they might have gotten. And if they'd gotten one or two on those set pieces, which they've scored 6 times this year on set pieces, they could have put us in a lot of trouble. Look, their coach is smart. He held us out. He played the slow game. They broke out a couple times. They played for set pieces. They almost got a couple of opportunities off of them. Fortunately, his game plan didn't work, but it was well executed. He's a smart guy. That's a good team, and we're just lucky to be done with them for the year.
In the first half, what was the biggest challenge that Iowa State was making for your offense to kind of create space and kind of score? Obviously, you guys did it in the second half, but in the first half, what was the biggest challenge right there?
They just put so many people behind the ball. I mean, if your breakout doesn't end up in the 18, pulling a shot or crossing it, you're going to have 10 people in their own box, 9 people in their own 18. That's pretty unique, but it's a defensive strategy. It can work, and it did for a while.
On Macy's goal, obviously, it was almost from midfield. What did you see from her on that goal?
She has the lucky horseshoe. Good things happen for Mace because she's so aggressive, progressive. She'll bend across and on somebody's head, and they'll score it. She'll beat somebody down the line and cut inside. And on that one, she just struck it so well. I mean, just a pill of a ball. And it had here's the thing. When you hit the ball she hit, it had the chance to go in if no one touched it. And that's the one that we call scoreable. It's a scoreable ball. If she'd hit it wider, got their foot on it, then it wasn't going in on its own. That one was going to go in if nobody touched it. Or, I think, was there a small deflection? Nice. Just the post? Yeah, so the shots that are scoreable on set pieces are the ones that would go in anyway. And hers was going in anyway. And then nobody got on it. The keeper kind of hesitated because we had so much traffic, hits the post and kisses right in. So it's the perfect set piece. We've seen her do it before for other people, and today she got it for herself.
You've had a lot of great goal scorers in this program. Ashley now 36 career goals. Needs just obviously 4 more to become the 4th Red Raider. The list is Janine Becky, Kirsten Davis, and Christy France. Just maybe speak to Ashley and her ability to put the ball in the back of the net, especially key moments for you.
That's some esteemed company that she's joining. Yeah, we've leaned on Ash to score not just goals, but big goals. That's kind of big goal Ash is what has happened for her. She scored a ton of the ones that we needed the most. And even though she doesn't have as many this year as she'd have wanted, she's scoring when it counts, which is Big 12 time. And I can remember her having not a great non-conference season one year and scoring 8 goals in the Big 12. So when the Big 12 comes around, Ashley comes alive. And we never doubted her, not one bit. She might have doubted herself more than we doubted her. We knew it was going to turn, and it has. And we're excited for her. And it was really no question. We were talking about all the different people that could have taken the penalty, and a lot of them were over here. So it was clear that Ash was the one, and she just buried it and has a great celebration. And we're thankful. Obviously, the great thing about Ash is she's not about records. She's about extending her season and playing as many games with this team as a senior as humanly possible. And if along the way she smashes a few things, then great. But her focus has always been team first.
Can you walk us through your third goal in the last 3 games? Can you walk us through that penalty kick for us tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Bug was on the run and she was going to goal, and then the defender just didn't do a very good job on getting her feet, so Bug got the foul. But yeah, everyone had the confidence in me to take it, and we work on these all the time. So with the belief in my team, I just knew I could do it. And just took a deep breath and finished it, and my team was right there behind me to support me, so that's always awesome.
On senior day with your family here, what does it mean for you to get that goal in front of them?
No, yeah, my oldest brother Lance and my mom were here, so that's just awesome. They're always very supportive, and then just, of course I always want to play for them, and then just them being able to see it's just very heartwarming and fulfilling. So.
What did it take in the second half to kind of break through the challenges in the first half to finally get to 2 goals and kind of secure the game from right there? Yeah,
we knew there was more to do on top of the box. We weren't moving as much in the first half. We're taking some silly shots from far out, or just not executing like we should have. So we just knew we came in halftime, talked about the things we need to do, moving the ball, doing different runs, and we just executed with her awesome shot. I mean, shot?
Whatever it was.
I mean, it worked, hey.
It went
But,
in, it's fine.
and yeah, like Tom was saying, it was scoreable, and that's what we needed to do. And then Bo just getting in the box, driving. We talked about getting in the box, and she did that, and the defender just didn't defend like she should have, and we got that PK, so that's awesome.
Casey, anything that?
Yeah, kind of just like Ashley said, there was more to do. That was kind of our discussion at halftime. Just not being more patient when we get into the 18 and not having to force it, not taking silly shots, not forcing crosses off. We definitely were moving the ball better. We got some good fouls, got some good opportunities. Yeah, it was awesome. I put it, I guess, in a spot. Sometimes goals go in that you don't expect to go in, but we'll take them. And then obviously, like Ash said, Bug made a good commitment into the box and drew the foul, which is great, and Ash put it away, did her job.
For both of you, you guys have responded off every loss or draw with a win this season. What does it say about the resiliency your team has shown this entire season?
Macy.
I think it just shows the kind of team that we are. We hate losing, and honestly, I think we may hate tying even more because we know that there's more on the table to do. But yeah, we just have a team who wants to win, and we love each other, and we want to do whatever it takes to, get those wins and play for each other. So I think it was really cool, especially after Colorado, to have this kind of response. We knew Colorado was probably a game that we should have won. We were the better team. We played better. And that was kind of what our outlook was for this weekend, was to just take what we can learn from the Colorado game and just implement that into Sunday's game, and that's what we did today.
Because she hit it. That was good. Thank you.
Iowa State had one shot on goal tonight. What did you see from your whole back line tonight, and Faith as well, in only allowing that one shot?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. We have a solid back line. Everyone back there is a shutdown 1v1 defender, great in the air. We're all super close. We all know what we're going to do. I've played with Crunch since my freshman year. Elise is a fifth year, so she's great. Molly's done an incredible job of stepping in, being a holding mid and just stepping into a position that she needed to. Even having, Peyton Annan sometimes come in and, be so solid. Peyton Dias come in, sub in whenever. It's really cool that we have so many people that can come in and step into that spot and, get done what needs to get done. But yeah, just a solid back line. Everyone's doing what they need to do, and we have this saying, "I got you, you got me," throughout the back line up to Faith. That was something that Faith kind of brought us, our goalkeeper, and it's kind of been something we've carried into this season. Just if we get beat, we know Faith is behind us, and something happens with Faith, she knows that we've got her back too. So that's kind of just been our motto this year, and I think it's really carried us through.
Yeah, West Virginia this Thursday. What's it going to take to carry this momentum into a team especially that good like West Virginia?
Honestly, just being consistent. We want to have our good game start, and when we're up, we don't want to chill out. We want to still take it to goal, but also being smart. So we're gonna get our recovery done, watch our video, do well in practice, compete, push each other to be better, and then we're on the road. So just doing our road things, because good teams that want to play later on need to be good on the road. So that's a big thing for us.
These 25 games now in Big 12 play that you tied or won, does that just help confidence-wise moving forward that we don't really know what losing feels like? It's been so long.
Yeah, I think that definitely says something not only about our players, but also just like our staff and Texas Tech soccer in general. We have a culture of winning. We have a culture of resiliency. Even times where we have gotten knocked down, like y'all said, any game that we've tied, we've responded with a win. And so I think that just kind of shows who we are. And, I think winning is fun. And so when you start winning, you want to keep winning. And so that's kind of just been our mentality. And we're not really focusing as much on, what we've done or the past. Really, I think something that's great about our team is we keep an outlook on what's in front of us. And I think that's kind of drived us through this year. And that's kind of what we're going to continue to do.